Hi everyone, Angelica here from Recovery Pittsburgh, coming to you again for another Mindful Monday. I wanted to touch base on something I spoke with a client about just the other day, and that is kind of the post-COVID era and how we're generally acting in our society, which in my opinion is with a very fear-based or avoidance-based mentality. What that means is that we are constantly operating under the premise that something could happen or something bad is coming, and that is really not the way to live. We're seeing this with how people parent. They are wanting to hold their kids back, not get them into school, or prevent them from being part of certain activities, or perhaps they're trying to control the involvement of their children in certain activities, or be very particular about how they're taught, how they're treated, and there's nothing wrong with that. But kids are meant to be kids. They're meant to explore the world and figure it out day by day as they're aging and as they're growing into their bodies and into their minds. We're also seeing, and this is what my client pointed out, that studies are showing, particularly in the elementary and middle school age range, while there is a push to have children work together in groups, that children are really seeking autonomy. They're seeking something that they can hold on to and grow with that is entirely their own, whether that's an artistic skill or a creative endeavor or having a particular friend or friend group. They want something that shows that they are independent beings that can think for themselves. If we're constantly trying to force what our kids are doing, who they're interacting with, how they're interacting with them, how often, what times of the day, that takes that layer of autonomy out of things. Now, I'm not suggesting permissive parenting by any means. However, I am suggesting that if we are constantly policing what our children do because of fear that something could happen to them, then they're never going to actually experience the world and learn how to navigate it for themselves. And that alone provides autonomy. It also gives them the quality of resilience because they need to figure out how to face challenges on their own. I think there is a healthy balance between looking at the world and seeing it objectively and looking at the world and seeing it as a potentially dangerous place. Because the reality is, if there is a shred of a percentage that another major worldwide disaster is going to happen, it is definitely not any time in our current generation's timeline. So we shouldn't be operating from fear. Let's operate from the present moment. Hope this message resonates. If you have questions, let me know. See you next Monday.
If this message resonates with you and you want to dig deeper, book an energy clearing or talk therapy session with me at www.yogarecoverypgh.com/book now. Distance and sliding scale options are available. I am spiritually focused and always ready to take on new clients. Let's chat soon.